study,
and play come together on a Windows 11 PC.
And for a limited time, college students get
The best of both worlds.
Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Redfin. You're listening to a podcast, which means you're probably multitasking. Maybe even scrolling home listings on Redfin, saving homes without expecting to get them. But Redfin isn't just built for endless browsing. It's built to help you find and own a home. With agents who close twice as many deals, when you find the one, you've got a real shot at getting it. Get started at redfin.com. Own the dream.
Morning decisions. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
Hey there, Mama Work It Tribe. I'm Marisa Lonic, working mom of 4, lover of all things flow, family, and fulfillment. You're tuning in to the Mama Work It podcast, where we take aim at overwhelm, mom guilt, and exhaustion and swap them out for big dreams, belly laughs, and productivity that actually fits into your life. Every week, we dive into tips, motivation, and a healthy dose of fun so you can slay your day even when you're busy AF. Ready to feel seen, energized, and totally unstoppable? Let's get to work, mama. Hey, mamas. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I am so glad, so happy you're here as always. If you are new to the show, my name is Marisa Lonic. I am your host and the founder of Mama Work It, where we support women in the juggle of mom life, wife life, work life, fill in the blank life. And I'm also right there with you, working mom of 4 kiddos. They are currently 12, 8, and 6. So I am recording this just for full transparency. I am recording this pre-May. Why? Because I know better. I know better than to add to my very full May plate. And we're talking about May today. We're talking about what I lovingly refer to and have heard many other moms refer to as Maycember. And it can feel like a month, like a season that feels quite overwhelming, feels quite full. So if you are a working mom and you are feeling that feeling right now in the month of May, let's dive into this episode. So here we are. We're in that stretch of weeks at the end of the school year. Feels kind of like December, but warmer weather, more daylight, daytime obligations. And you know how it goes. We've got school events, we've got field days, we've got concerts, recitals, teacher gifts, teacher appreciation weeks, spirit weeks, end of year parties, graduation parties, sports banquets, all the things. And somehow you are still juggling momming, working, wifing, all the things that you do in your regular other 11 months of the year. It is a lot. So on today's episode, we're talking your Maycember survival guide, how to manage the chaos, how to protect your energy, how to basically get through this month without completely burning out. So let's get into it. All right. So first and foremost, what is Maycember if you've never heard this term and why it feels so intense? Well, Maycember is the perfect storm of increased kid activities, extra school involvement, emotional transitions for kids and parents, work not necessarily slowing down, but probably picking up before maybe people are going on summer vacations and things like that. Decision fatigue, feeling like it is at an all-time high. And it's not just busy. It's like this compressed busy. It's like busy, but shove it all into 30 days. Okay. Everything feels like it is happening at once. And the problem with that is because they're all good things in a way, right? Like who doesn't love going to a dance recital or a graduation party or a tournament for sports? Like they're all fun, great things. But the problem with this is they all happen at once and we try to handle this month like any other normal month. And it's just not. It's not. And even though it can feel a little like December in the sense of like, the holidays can feel quite overwhelming, similar to this. It feels like with the holidays, everyone's kind of experiencing this. Everyone, no matter if you have kids or you don't. Maycember is reserved, in my opinion, for the parents with kids who are at some sort of school age, activity age. And that is who really feels the intensity the most. If you've got babies, May probably feels like any other month. If you've got preschoolers through high schoolers, May feels intense. So first thing I want to talk about with Maycember in your toolkit is we've got to reset expectations. Okay. Stop expecting normal capacity from yourself. This is a very high demand, also temporary, but very high demand season. So we need to shift into minimum, like, when I worked in corporate, we had this thing called the MVP, minimum viable product. When we were launching something new, we need to launch into minimum viable product for ourselves right now. Okay. Like minimum effective dose mode. We need to really hone in on prioritization. Like, what is critical? What is crucial? What is not? Whatever is not can wait till June. And we need to also give ourselves to be in good enough mode. Good enough mode, not necessarily highest achieving mode, good enough mode. So ask yourself these questions. What actually matters this month? And what can wait until June, July, August? What can wait in general? Because not everything deserves your energy right now. Not everything can get your energy right now. So first and foremost, we really need to reset those expectations. Then we need to think about the Maycember game plan. Okay, what is this going to look like? How are we going to logistically handle the chaos that comes with Maycember? So first tip I'm going to give you, you know me, you know I love a good system, a good organizational system. And I am not going to tell you one system works better than another because my life is different than your life. That's different than her life and his life and their life. And so I'm just going to tell you this one thing when it comes to systems is get everything on one calendar, one holistic place. I don't care if that's your Google Calendar, your calendar, like wall hanging calendar in your kitchen, your whiteboard, your planner. Just get it in one place. School events, work deadlines, activities, family obligations, whatever it is, get it in one place. This is going to reduce overwhelm. Being able to see this holistic month in one location is going to not only help you strategically plan better, it's just going to help you be able to take that deep breath and know that everything is in this one location. The second thing when it comes to the Maycember game plan is now that you have this holistically in one place, look at it from the entire month perspective. And maybe it's a 6-week period for you. I don't know, but identify your heavy weeks, like your real heavy hitters. Okay. What are your overloaded days? What are the nights you are double booked because one kid has this and one kid has that? Where are you really high pressure with work where you have deadlines or travel or just things going on there? on those particular days, weeks, whatever they are, plan accordingly. Okay. Plan for simplification, plan for extra support. Don't add to those weeks unless it's getting help, but try to delegate or take away things that you can to assist you with not being, completely inundated on those days or those weeks. Okay. Next tip here for tackling Maycember in this game plan is, and you know me, I'm a big fan of this, but pre-decide on meals, logistics, all this stuff. Plan ahead, basically, okay? And especially plan ahead when it comes to dinner time. Now, we just recorded an episode recently that is all about dinner tips. So go back and listen to that if you haven't already. It'll give you some really good ideas. But May, my friends, is not the time to wing it when it comes to things that you know are coming. Like dinner is coming every single day. It is part of your responsibilities. So do not wing this. Lean into planning when it comes to this. Do things like repeat meals that you know your family likes that are easy to get on the table. Go into your freezer stash. This is not the time to hoard the freezer meals. Go in and use them. You need them during this time, especially during those super busy days or weeks. Opt for takeout sometimes or, help in that way, drive-throughs, whatever it is. But remove the intensity and the additional responsibility of decisions wherever possible. You already have such a full plate. So try your best to plan ahead wherever possible. And dinner time, mealtime is especially an easy one to be able to think about ahead of time. Now, I'll tell you, I am definitely not as organized to get the whole month of May's dinners planned, but I do meal plan a week out. And looking at a week out, I think you can do this too. Where are my really challenging days, challenging weeks? And it's okay if some weeks are just so freaking busy that even though you only lean into typically freezer meals or takeout once a week, that you do it twice that week or 3 times that week. No one's judging you. It's Maycember. Anything goes. All right. Let's talk a little bit now about time and energy management. In Maycember, energy, in my opinion, matters more than time. Why is that? Because your time is already quite booked during this month. Chances are you are busier than normal. So what can you really protect here? And of course, there are things you can say no to, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But there are a lot of things you can't say no to, right? You can't say no to the soccer tournament that your kids have been working toward all season. You can't say no to the dance recital. You can't say no to, the breakfast with the principal or the Mother's Day breakfast at school. These are things that are super important to you. It's just more priorities than you maybe would like to have in one particular shortened period. But what you can do is you can help yourself with how you're able to show up to that with the energy that you're able to show up to it. And a couple ways to do that is, I'm a big fan of morning routines, right? So we've got a whole episode on morning routines. Again, go back and listen to that if you haven't already. We will link it in today's show notes. But morning routines are, in my opinion, one of the best ways to be able to show up especially when you have a busy day ahead of you, in the most motivated, energetic, best version of you, happiest version of you self that you can. And so even if that morning routine does not look perfect, an hour of exercise and hair washing and full makeup or whatever it is, even if it is 15, 20 minutes of completely protected you time that you start your day with, a quick meditation, prayer, stretching, yoga, a hot cup of coffee in silence, making a to-do list, whatever it is that's going to help you really show up with the best energy you can, do it. Make sure a morning routine is blocked out and a non-negotiable to you. The other thing that is going to help you when it comes to energy here, and you know me, I love a good batch party. I talk about this a lot in the holiday habits training that I offer and episode that I've recorded, but batch as much as you can during this month. And there are probably going to be extra tasks that require your attention in Maycember. Okay. Just like during the holidays. That's why they call it Maycember. It's got a lot of similarities here. Okay. So instead of doing things one-off or when you remember them or here and there, like buying a gift or sending an email or running an errand, like, can you batch any of this stuff? Can you batch it? I do this a lot, even outside of Maycember, outside of the holidays. I do this with the podcast. I batch content. I do this with other tasks. I batch it. If I have, if I look at my calendar in May and I've got 2 birthday parties, 3 graduation parties, the teacher appreciation week, can I set aside an hour to online shop for all of that stuff? Boom, 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 order Amazon Prime, whatever website you're shopping on, and that's done off my list. And I don't have to even think about it. It doesn't take up precious real estate in my brain anymore. Can I set up an hour to batch wrap those things? Can I set up an hour to batch send these emails to the class or, whatever it is? Batch, batch, batch. It's going to be able to stop nagging you, stop annoying you, stop taking up space in your already very heavy Maycember mental load. Okay. Another tip here for protecting, managing your energy in the month of Maycember is very simply put, say no. Say no more than usual. I know saying no is hard, and I know boundary setting is really hard for a lot of us because we are yes people. We love being part of it. We don't want to experience the FOMO. We want to be able to do all the things for our kids, for our spouse, for our job, for ourselves. But you can't say yes to everything. You just can't. You just can't. When I was building my business, I remember, this has stuck with me for all these years. I remember this quote. It was from Marie Forleo, and it had to do with marketing, but I think it has to do with a lot of things. And she says, with regards to marketing, if you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And it means basically like if your message isn't for one particular person, it's not going to hit anybody. Like it's going to go way over everyone's heads. It's not going to really get to that person the way you intend for it to get to. Well, the same goes for this. If you are saying yes to every activity, every volunteer thing, every event, every work thing, I don't know, whatever it is, if you're saying yes to everything, you're actually kind of saying no because you're not able to show up in the way you want to show up. You are not able to give your full and best energy, your full and best attention, your time, any of it. And so if you are more intentional about the things you are saying yes to, and that requires saying no, maybe in areas where you might not necessarily want to say no, you are actually going to be able to show up better in the places you say yes to. I hope that makes sense. So remember, you are allowed to skip optional events, extra commitments, anything that pushes you into burnout. If when you get that invitation, I encourage you, don't answer on the spot. Don't say yes. Don't say no. I mean, unless you are so freaking excited, like jumping out of your chair to say yes, fine. But if it's something that requires or should require you to pause and think or check your calendar or whatever it is, take a breath, be like, thank you so much for the invite. Thank you so much for thinking of me. Let me just check on it and get back to you. Boom, done. You don't have to say no on the spot, but you can buy yourself some time to really try it on and think about it and see if it fits your Maycember load. All right, so we've talked a little bit about kind of the game plan. We've talked about managing time and energy. Let's talk about like now the emotional load, because Maycember isn't just logistical. It's not just like a million commitments on the calendar. It's also, it's kind of emotional, right? Because you might feel guilt for missing things. You might feel pressure to be showing up for everything. You might feel comparisonitis creeping in because you're comparing yourself with other moms or other families or other things going on. You might also feel some exhaustion from that constant output or busyness and like that lack of downtime that you usually get. So let's reframe all of this so that you can hopefully not become a victim of this emotional impact that Maycember tends to have on moms. You don't have to attend everything to be a great mom, okay? You don't have to be volunteering at every school party. You don't have to stay at every birthday party. You don't have to be the one that volunteers to contribute to something for every event. It is okay. You can still be a great mom and not volunteer and attend and do all of those things. And your presence, meaning your physical presence, but also your mental presence, is meaningful. And so even if you know you can be at something physically, but mentally, you know your mind is going to be in 1,000 other places, it is okay to say no and be selective about that. Your presence is a gift, but when you are physically there and not mentally there, it shows. So be selective, be intentional, and be real with yourself. Like, you know how much you can handle and how much is going to push you over the edge. Some people can have a super full calendar and be completely fine, and that fills their cup. And some people really need that quiet disconnect away from some of this stuff. I would say most people probably do, and that's okay. All right, let's keep it going with our Maycember tips and tricks for survival here. Our next topic here is about kind of how to simplify. And when I'm thinking simplify things like at home, pretty much. This is not a season for perfection. This is not a season for big projects. I know a lot of times people think May, they think like, oh, spring cleaning. Hopefully you've handled that already. And if you haven't, handle it in the summer. Like, Maycember is not the time to clean out your garage, to reorganize your closet. If your days on your calendar are already quite full, this is not the time to take on more. I would say simplify everything you can. Laundry, simplify, okay? I know, a lot easier said than done, but like, where can you simplify that? Can you delegate? Can you get a service to help you? Can you start training your kids on folding and putting away their own laundry? I don't know, whatever it is. Cleaning. If you can avoid like a deep clean and just kind of keep it surface level clean, do that. If you can hire someone to help you clean, if you don't have that luxury, but you can do it temporarily, even just once for the month of May, that could be a game changer for you. We've already talked about meals. How can you simplify meals? Routines. How can you simplify that? Can we get some sort of support with carpooling or other things like that? Ask yourself this question, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe on a daily basis. What can I make easier this week? What can I make easier today? And I guarantee your creative brain, because moms, we are so creative, we know how to get shit done, is going to boom, light bulb moment. Something will come up that will help you make the week, the day, just a little bit easier. But you got to take the time to ask yourself that. So we're stressed, we're running around, things are crazy, it's Maycember. We got to remember to take care of ourselves. Now, I've talked a little bit about the morning routine and how I think that is so important for showing up with incredible energy and intention throughout the day. But there are also times throughout the day where we might need to be sprinkling in a little self-care, especially if we are pouring out even more than normal during this month. So let's talk about things that are more on the micro scale when it comes to self-care, because you probably don't have the capacity right now in this temporary month to be maybe going on a trip or going to the spa or even taking a few hours out for something that you might normally do. So let's talk about micro ways that you can recover and practice some self-care in Maycember. setting a timer and doing like 5 minutes of quiet. No email pings, no music. Sometimes like even when I'm driving alone, I won't even have music or anything on. Like I just want the silence. So can we do that? Can we set some time for silence if that is something that helps you? It helps me. A short walk. Maybe you're used to doing a 3 or 4 mile walk around your neighborhood. Can you just do a mile? Can you just get 15 or 20 minutes in? Deep breathing. Breathing is so underrated, in my opinion. Okay, taking really deep intentional breaths, like the box breath, where you breathe in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4, ideally in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great way to reset. Vagus nerve breathing. Breathing in for, let's say, a count of 6, and then breathing out through the mouth for a count of 8, releasing even more. Great way to reset the nervous system. These small things, even like a very short breath work session, they can restore so much energy and they can just really reset you and kind of pour back into that cup that you keep pouring out of in the month of May. All right, mom friends. So we've talked a lot about tips, tricks on how to stay sane in the month of Maycember. We've talked about kind of your Maycember survival plan. Let's quickly recap. We talked about resetting expectations, planning ahead, visualizing your month, your week, seeing it in one place, simplifying where we can, meals, routines, household tasks, protecting not just our time, but our energy and how we do that, saying no more often and setting more of those boundaries. And of course, letting go of perfect. Perfect does not exist, and it sure as hell doesn't exist in Maycember. I know it's intense. I know it feels super stressful, but remember, it is temporary. And it is also a season of so much joy, right? All of those things that you are committed to, most of them I'd say, you're freaking excited about, you're happy to attend and be part of. I just know it's a lot at once. And so happy Maycember. You can do this. You got this. Keep on working it. And I will see you next time. Bye. That's a wrap for this episode of the Mama Work It podcast. I hope you feel empowered, inspired, and ready to take your next step. If this episode spoke to you, share it with another amazing mama, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps us show up wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to head over to mamaworkit.com for free resources, coaching support, and new ways to momage your days as a busy mom. Until next time, keep on working it, mama.